All right, so check this out. Uh, I already cleaned up the engine. I've basically removed the whole engine harness, the main engine harness, the one that connects basically all the terminal connections to the actual ECM. This is the exhaust side here. I already applied a degreaser. Everything's already degreased. You know, everything's pretty much cleaned. Everything's already stripped, essentially. That there's the turbo. It was all caked. It was black. Now it's back to its nice silver color. I'm gonna replace the actuator on that turbo. I was kind of hoping out that I just have to replace the actual terminal end, but I'm assuming if this just got charred, maybe the seals and the other components on the actual actuator itself is done. So I mean, might as well just replace it, I believe. I'm getting a new knock sensor. This is just done. It was bolted to the actual block down there with like two 18 millimeter bolts, so it's a whole thing. It's an annoying thing. It's almost like a little circuit board that the knock sensor has. It's dangling down there. All the lines are going to be replaced. This is the alternator as well. I removed it. It's loose just so I can remove the harness and get the new one in. This used to be the EGR servo valve. Like, it's essentially, it would act like a throttle body for the EGR. I'm gonna replace it because it's just done. It's no longer here. Essentially, it's done. The radiator, the main radiator was done, so took that one out. I'm gonna replace these transmission return lines. These go all the way down there and down to the ASIN 6-speed in the back. I'm gonna replace these just because on the surface, I'm not sure if you can tell, they're like charred. So even though they're not leaking, I'm pretty sure the walls of the interior of the pipe are like degrading. So might as well replace this one. So the only part here that essentially was too damaged. The part here that was essentially too damaged was the main radiator. That one's out. I'm gonna scrap it and recycle it because it's pretty big and heavy. That's gonna get new. The secondary radiator and the condenser, or no, wait, I think the evaporator. I think one of those. I forget which one. Pretty sure it's the condenser. That one's still good for the AC. This is the transmission cooler. This right here is the transmission cooler. Down there is the actual intercooler for the turbo. That one's also fine, you know. Also a new headlight harness. Also got it. I got the number and everything. Gonna order it, replace it, because there's no more mount here for the headlight, essentially. So I need to get that as well. Again, I applied a degreaser. It was all caked. It was all black. Here is the throttle body. This, I believe, is good. No problem here. I had to replace this temperature sensor for the EGR, including the motor actuator for the EGR. These are oil. Essentially, these are the oil feed lines. These tie into the block. These go all the way down into the block, like down there. Essentially, what they do, these feed onto that one and that one, but they melted away. So essentially, they connect down here with this, forms a Y. It takes it down to the actual block, and it goes into the crank, the valve cover, which is that right there. Essentially, when I feed it oil through the spout through here, which is this is done. I'm replacing this as well. Once it feeds into here, it washes over what seems to be the cover here, and it feeds into those lines, goes down into the actual block, and that's essentially the oil supply. You can also see back here, that's the common rail. This is the Bosch high pressure common rail pump. It's all nice and clean now. Used to be all black and greasy. Same with the block head. All that is nice and clean. the tranny dipstick, replace it. And yeah, there is the common rail, nice and clean. Get a new cover. I have a new master cylinder and reservoir. Those won't burn away. And yeah, I need the also need the battery cable. I'm gonna get the I already have also on my list the battery cable that connects both batteries together in series. So I have that one on the list. This is the terminal for the EGR harness. I also have to get it. But this one essentially ropes around the block in the back through the, not through the firewall, but by the firewall, or to the other side. Down there is the actual ECM, or ECU, whichever, I believe. Down there, there's the terminal connection, or the 41 pin connection. It's really stubborn in there. It's really hard to get out. Or at least it was just a pain in the ass for me to get out. But yeah, that is essentially what it is. And you know, Mexican ingenuity right there, para trancarlo. Oh yeah, I need the hood props also on my list.